Welcome back, folks, to Mike's Life Live Neat. As you can see, I'm out here by the pool, but you see them clouds, and I hear a little bit of rumbling in the background, so you may hear some thunder, but I think we'll be all right. Today, I'm smoking this Angel's Envy cigar. It came from, I think the only place you can get it is at the distillery. My best friend, Eddie, and his wife went up to Kentucky and hit some. I think they went to Angel's Envy. I think he said Four Roses, and I can't remember the other one. But he brought me back a Distillery Series Angel's Envy bottle and this cigar. And he goes, "Hey man, you need to rate it on one of your videos." So here we are. So I'm gonna cut it and light it and see what we got. It came in this badass tube. Always kind of neat when they come, and it's actually pretty cool. Um, this thing's got a I don't know if you can see that, it's a three tone wrapper. I think they call it a barber pole, but it's, I forget, they have another name for it when it's like this, when it's just lined up. Well, it should be interesting smoke, change in the flavor. We'll see what happens. Um, right off the bat, I'm impressed. Pretty good. So these are like I said, they're Angel's Envy cigars. I guess you've seen probably Buffalo Trace, and I think Eagle Rare has one, and Pappy. I didn't even know they made an Angel's Envy one. So now I've only had one bottle of Angel's Envy before, and it was pretty good. But it's, I don't know. I don't look at. I don't know why I never really look at it. It's usually kind of expensive, and then when the reviews come around, they're hit and miss. So I don't know. I've only had the one bottle, but after trying this is the Distillery Series bottle. It's a little smaller bottle, but they have a couple of them. This is the 2 grain bourbon, and it's 90% corn and 10% malted barley. And as you can see, I've had a little bit of it. We'll talk about it today, but it's good. I wish they sold it everywhere, but I think it's only available at the distillery. But this cigar, rolled by Kentucky Gentleman Cigar Company, and when I looked into it, it looks like they roll most of those distillery cigars, and so pretty interesting. Pretty good. I've had it in my drying humidor, so it's good and got a good burn on it, good smoke. You know, I'll smoke this a little bit and see what we got. I just got back from a work trip. It's a leadership meeting, statewide. Captains came in, and when I first got promoted, I guess a couple of years ago, I had just been promoted. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never even been a supervisor before, and here I got bumped up to several levels to this, to where my boss is actually in another city, and I got two district offices in different. I got Jacksonville and Gainesville, but it was a pretty good meeting. I was a lot of them guys had been there a long time. I'm from another agency. Came in, so a lot of these people had been with this agency. So I'm still learning a lot, and I enjoyed it, and everybody was real nice. But it's funny because between then and now, all those other captains are gone except me and another one. So I'm number two in seniority in the state, believe it or not. A lot of the people have been with the agency longer, but all the captains there were promoted after I was. But the agency forever was the culture was not good. And I know, what does that mean? And I guess if you work, you should know what that means. You know, people are negative, people are not motivated, people are um, complain a lot, um, want to argue everything. Um, and when you have a situation like that, you can have one or two people that can poison an office, but the biggest thing is poor leadership from the top, and people don't. I don't need that. I come from a generation where you come in and you do stuff because the boss said you do it. I don't need to know why. But people aren't like that. That time has passed, and people need to know. So I took give myself a crash course on leadership. I did go to they sent me to some classes and stuff like that, but it was basically OJT for me. And I had a lot of good supervisors in my career, and I kind of pulled from the good ones, and I remembered the bad ones, and threw those out, and just kind of melded it into my own personality. Um, I'm not a pound the table. You're gonna do this because I said so kind of guy anyway. So uh, I just did it. Gonna see what happens. I just did it the way I wanted to do it. I went up, made it up as I went along, and fast forward to today, and the office I have was probably one of the worst ones in the state culture wise. A lot of experience there. A lot of people have been there a long time. A lot of them 20 years, but just was a very negative office, and not. I don't even blame them so much. Um, it was just a weird vibe. So it took me a while because they've seen them come and go. Um, but finally, I think they came around and realized I'm not here to get them. I'm not here to give them a hard time. Um, we got a job to do. I'm going to listen to what you have to say. I respect their institutional knowledge with this agency, and and I told them, I said, when we get a task from on high, I come and say, look, guys, that we got to do this. Um, give me your thoughts. I have a thought in how I want to do it, and usually it's how we do it. But honestly, um, invariably these guys, they throw out things that I hadn't thought of, and just because I hadn't been there as long, because they've done this before, and they go, okay, well, last time we did this, we ran into this, and this problem, and previous managers didn't give them the leeway to address and fix those things, and I don't subscribe to that. I go, well, what can we do to fix it? And we're going to get to this is where we need to be. Let's take the easiest route to get there and still make our goal. Let's not complicate things. Um, I'm not going to lay down a law and tell you how we're going to do it. Um, but we're going to get there, and with your input. And that stuff has made all the difference in the world. Um, just giving people a little respect, a little recognition for what they know and their abilities, because you don't always get that, especially in a paramilitary organization. There's a lot of you're going to do a lot of big egos, and a lot of you're going to do this because I told you to do it, and that's not the way to manage people in this day and age. I've worked for those people and I was fine, but in this day and age, people don't respond to that. Um, you're not going to get the most out of them, and it's going to make for a toxic environment. So I changed the culture. Now we're one of the best offices in the state, by far, most productive. For each office is different depending on what cities in as far as how many people they got, but um, allowing for the adjustment for the number of people and the size of the city, we are right up there at the top, as opposed to 2 years ago being at the bottom. Well, yeah, about 2 years, end of 23, beginning of 24 is when I took over. And and I got some recognition for that during this meeting. Um, but I say it's not me. Um, I came. You have different philosophies on leadership. Um, I kind of come in, especially with the bunch I got. I don't need to tell them how to be policemen or how to do this job. They've been here longer than me. I came in and said, "What can I do to make you better? What can I provide you? What can we change to make your job easier and not easier and you don't have to do as much, easier and it's easier to get to our goals instead of having obstacles and somebody fighting you. And can we do this? No. The default no, like in most large agencies. I say, tell me what you need, tell me what you want, uh, tell me how I can help. I always I tell them, I promise you effort, I cannot promise you results because I don't control some of this stuff. What I can control, I'll give you. What I can't control, I can't, but I'll try. Um, and I think they weren't used to that. And not that the previous captains were not good folks. It's just it wasn't the way they managed. Um, and it may have been because of people above them. I don't really know. Um, and sometimes I know I've worked for people, they don't go and ask and for anything because it's just easier not to ask, you know. Um, and you have to temper because they'll come up with some crazy stuff sometimes, and you got to go, look, guys, we got to be reasonable, and and they understand. I mean, they get it, so they'll back off. But um, when we're faced with a new challenge, they go, all right, we're going to go do this, and it deviates from what we usually do. You used to get a lot of pushback. They embrace it now, and they go all out to show up the other offices and show what they can do. And I got a really good bunch now. The other thing in that office is I had two folks that were somewhat of a cancer um, in different ways. Neither one of them were really ugly. You know, they weren't mean, but they just were not a good work ethic. And one of them you couldn't really trust. Um, but it brought everybody down. And because they're having to pick up the slack and they're having to do the things that they're not doing, and that negativity down the hall when they're all together, you know, it kind of everybody kind of it kind of poisons the well, so to speak. So both those folks are gone. I tried to make it work with them, but they just wouldn't, um, which was a shame because I hated to do that. But um, in the end, it was addition by subtraction. We're one person short. We've been one person short for 2 years now, and probably won't get them replaced till October because of some things. But um, we're clocking along just fine. Looking forward to filling that new spot. The other weird thing is all three of my lieutenants will be probably leaving by this time next year. There'll probably be three new lieutenants, so that'll be interesting. So we'll see what happens. Um, but it was a pretty good meeting. The last meeting, they made us come up with a PowerPoint about something and present it to the group, and it wasn't really a good learning experience, especially for someone like me. I needed to learn what these people are doing to make their offices successful. I didn't need to learn about some reporting system, you know, that we use. I mean, it was just pointless. I got up there and talked about human trafficking. For the most part, our agents, because that's what I did in my previous job. I was very good at it. But we don't really do too much of that here. I did apply it to places that we work now, but people thought it was interesting. You know, I had pictures and, you know, case, you know, cases we worked with. And so it was kind of interesting, but it was not, I don't think it was really helpful for everybody. This time, the new folks we have in place up there said, look, we kind of sat the room in a big square facing in. and you gave a little presentation on your office, kind of how things are going, some of the things you're seeing and doing, and then present any challenges that you're facing. And that this one was so much more helpful, even with the time I've had and the success I've had. Um, there were things I wrote down that I'm going to implement in our office that I think will be helpful. I just hadn't thought about them, and that should be the point of these leadership meetings. That these, whether you're in a business world or in a, I don't know, the military or the police or whatever, what have you. Um, that's the way these meetings should go. You shouldn't present on things everybody knows about. It's just silly. Um, you come together and you talk about, especially when you're spread out over an entire state, talk about things that you're facing and how you can address them and attack them and fix them. And I enjoyed it. I had a good, I don't like going, you know, I don't like being away from home, but meeting was good. And we, one of the nights we went to the, a cigar bar, had a good time with everybody. A couple of them, excuse me, a couple of them, uh, smoke cigars, and so big cigar smokers. So enjoyed that. And the other ones, even if they didn't smoke cigars, they come and hung out and had a beer. So it made for a good trip, and glad to be home though. So the cigar, like I said, this is a distillery only cigar. It's the only place you can get it. There's aged in Angel's Envy bourbon barrels, and then they age the tobacco in there, and then they supposedly put the cigars in there after they're done in a barrel and age them some more. So for, I guess for, it says 3 months I have written down here. I couldn't remember all this, so I had to write some of this stuff down. It's got a 3-tone wrapper, like I said. It's a barber pole, but I forget. There's another name for it, and I can't remember what it's called for this type. But I've never actually seen one like that, but there was a name for it. I'd say it's medium bodied. At least this first one. It's got the lighter wrapper. It's a little spicy, but seems like it has a little caramel and vanilla. Maybe some dark fruit. Not like an orange, like a, I don't know, but it's definitely spicy. Pretty good. Pretty good and pretty cool the way it's aged. So I'll be interested to see what it does when we get into these other wrappers here. Um, as far as this distillery series 2 grain, like I said, it's 90% corn, 10% barley, malted barley. Um, it is freaking good, man. Like if I could find a bottle of this, like a regular, I would buy it for sure. It has no burn. Let's see, what's the proof? So like 112 proof. Um, it's little, almost desserty, I guess, because of the high corn. It's sweet. Um, it's kind of got a what was that? There was a Penelope creme brulee bottle I had. It tastes, has a little bit of that. It doesn't taste like that, but it like a brulee kind of taste, like a sweet, like a dessert. This would definitely be good after dinner, like a dessert. Like if you like that Widow Jane decadence kind of, it doesn't taste like that either, but kind of that dessert type flavor. Um, doesn't have much burn, even though it's 112, which wasn't super high, but 112 proof. But it does have a little spice. Um, very viscous. You probably can't see that in the camera, but look at the legs on that. It's just sticking to the glass. I don't know. They say that's the corn, but I'm not sure. But damn good if you get up there or get somebody who can get you this bottle. Highly recommend that. Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate it. And again, this cigar, I've never seen one. I've seen the Buffalo Trace and the Eagle Rare, and I've seen the Pappy. I didn't even know they made Angel's Envy one. So I was appreciative when he brought it to me. But you really, there's a lot of stuff out there, and it's interesting what you come across when you travel a little bit. And he travels a lot, so, and he likes bourbon. He doesn't really smoke cigars, but um, he comes across some cool stuff when he's traveling, and I appreciate it when he thinks of me and picks it up. I usually try to get him something when I go somewhere, a bottle of something, but different that you can't find here. But um, anyway, it's been an interesting couple of years with this job. It's been a lot of work, but it's very rewarding. Um, I have to say, right now, the supervisors I have above me um, are very supportive and make things easy on you. I have to say, within reason. Again, I say easy, and I don't mean it. I don't mean it like you're cutting corners easy. I mean it like, let me make sure I'm providing you what you need to be successful instead of fighting you on everything. Um, and I'm sure you've all had that sometime in your past. But if you're in a supervisory position, um, everybody's got their own way. I just thought of, how do I like to be treated? How do I like to be talked to? How do I like to be uh, addressed? And I just try to do people, the golden rule: do unto others if you should have them do unto you. Um, I don't need to establish that I'm the boss. We have a rank structure. Everybody knows I'm the boss, so I don't go around calling me captain and sir and all that crap. Some of them do it. I do it to my bosses, particularly when you're in public. I don't, but I don't worry about it too much. But some people are into that. I'm not. Especially, I worked side by side with these guys for a long time before I get in this position, so it makes it kind of weird anyway. But I'm not about that. Um, I don't. If I need to tell you I'm the boss all the time, then I'm probably not doing my job. But you have people like that, always, love to flex, so to speak. And I tell you what, my guys, I appreciate every one of them. They got a good bunch of guys and girls, and they've made my job easy. It was kind of bumpy in the beginning, but once they figured out that I'm here to help them, and I come with the heart of a servant instead of a tyrant, and which what you're used to in these paramilitary organizations. You got a lot of people, a lot of ego. But I was never that way as a police officer. I never, treated people. There's a time and a place for that. But I usually start, if someone's here, I'm right here, because you have to be in control. But you don't go up here and then come. It's hard to come. I stay right here and I stay right here, right above them, and it's as long as you can do that, you can get most people to come around to your side. You know, if you come in like a storm and changing everything, and I changed a lot of things, but I think it's the way I did it that they respected. I didn't. I kind of explained why we're doing it. I have meetings every other week with them, and we go over all the cases, and then I go around the room and, hey, you got anything? You got anything? Because one of the things my five prior years before working there, the two captains we had, I probably count on one hand less how many meetings we had with the captain. And not that we need to meet with them all the time, but I think it helps because when you just have your one level, your lieutenants below you, you may not be getting the full story. And I don't want people festering and people mad about something that we could easily fix. I just don't know about it, because if I don't know about it, I can't fix it. So one of the things we did at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is, at least the units I was in, we had meetings every week, basically, the case review. So I don't need to go over, the lieutenants do the weekly stuff, but every 2 weeks we meet as a unit, the whole district, and I go over things that came down from Tallahassee, and I go over things that I seen I need to address. We go over the cases, and then I ask everybody what they got. And I always tell them, look, guys, if you don't tell me I can't fix it, don't be mad about it then. Don't sit there and complain and gripe and bitch and moan when you didn't voice your problem, you know. I'm not a mind reader. So, man, that changed. With that new, I got to the second band there. It's become a lot sweeter. Man, that's weird. A lot more vanilla. That's really good. Tell you what. Thank you, Eddie. The other thing I want to say is some other channels, if you like this kind of stuff. Deep Cut Energy. He's on, I don't know if he's on Instagram. He's on Facebook and YouTube. He's got a great channel. He does a lot of cigar stuff, and bourbon, different drinks. But he gets on there, he'll review something and tell a story. His stories are freaking awesome. He's hilarious. I love him. He's from California, but he lives in Tennessee. And he's got some great stories. If you're not watching him, you need to check him out if you like cigars. And of course, Old Man Copper. I can't say enough good things about him. He has some great videos. Um, he's a retired firefighter from Clearwater. He puts out some great product for beards, and he's got a bug iron dome, like a bug repellent wax. It's same kind of like the beard stuff, but it's, you put it on. We went to the hunt club the other day, and heck, even around here, for some reason, we got a bunch of gnats this year. They weren't bad last year, but man, they're back this year. And you put that stuff on, and it's kind of like a citronella, and it's like you flip the switch, they were gone. And so, hey, if you, he's got a, I think oldman.copper.com, but go to his channel and check him out if you're into cigars. I think he does a lot of pipe stuff. Um, but sometimes he not smoking or drinking anything. He just, sometimes he'll just get on there and talk about life. And he's a guy, he's about my age, and he's got some real good advice, and I think you would enjoy him. But there's a couple other guys like the Papa Lloyd, I think is his name. I'm sorry if I'm messing that up. I'll have to look him up. But I've been watching his stuff. He does everyday guy reviews. He's got some short videos. He talks about, compares different drinks. But I like him because he's not like one of these, froofy reviewers who, they'll give you all these weird friggin' notes, and he just tells you, I like this over that, and I've had a lot of the stuff that he's tried, not all of it, but I enjoy watching his videos. He's down to earth. I enjoy his stuff. So I think he's Papa Lloyd, but I'll tell you on the next video. But anyway, guys, if you know anybody going to these distilleries, pick up that cigar. I'm always leery of the, like the stars come out with a cigar, like the celebrities, and some of these drink ones, but this is pretty good. This 3-band wrapper is interesting. But you got to get it from the distillery, apparently. So if you get a chance to go by there, or know somebody, have them pick you up one. And definitely, I think there's another distillery series. I can't remember what the other one is. Can't speak for it, but this one here, damn good, guys. Damn good. Once again, thank you, Eddie. I appreciate it. And you guys have a great week and stay safe.